The Crusading era was one of the most significant periods in medieval history, profoundly influencing European culture and shaping the course of global events. Among the many extraordinary figures who emerged during this tumultuous time, one stands out for both his resilience and determination: Baldwin IV of Jerusalem, also known as the Leper King. Though his reign was marked by immense physical suffering due to his battle with leprosy, Baldwin IV left an indelible mark on history by defending the Kingdom of Jerusalem with extraordinary courage and wisdom. Early life and diagnosis of leprosy. Baldwin IV was born in 1161 into the royal family of Jerusalem. He was the second son of Prince Amalric of Jerusalem and the younger brother of King Baldwin III. From an early age, it became apparent that Baldwin was different from other children. At the age of 9, under the guidance of his tutor, the historian William of Tyre, Baldwin's condition was discovered. Unlike other children, Baldwin didn't react to pain when pinched by his classmates, which alerted William to the fact that something was wrong. Further examination revealed that Baldwin had no sensation in his right arm, and his tutor suspected the unthinkable: leprosy. At the time, leprosy was a dreaded disease, associated with fear and stigma. However, no visible symptoms had yet appeared, and physicians were reluctant to make a formal diagnosis due to the consequences it would entail. Had Baldwin been officially diagnosed as a leper in his childhood, he would have been required by law to join the Order of St. Lazarus, a military order composed of knights afflicted with leprosy or other severe diseases. The young king ascends the throne. Baldwin's illness was kept a closely guarded secret for as long as possible, allowing him to grow up without the immediate burden of his condition. Despite his affliction, Baldwin developed into a strong-willed and capable young man. He was described as resembling his father in appearance and bearing, and he had a sharp memory, never forgetting either kindness or insults. His illness, while limiting his physical abilities, did not dull his intellect or determination. In 1174, when Baldwin was only 13 years old, his father, King Amalric, unexpectedly died of dysentery. As the next in line for the throne, Baldwin was appointed king by the Supreme Court of Jerusalem. Due to his youth, the kingdom was placed under the regency of Raymond of Tripoli until Baldwin came of age. In 1176, at the age of 15, Baldwin assumed full control of the government, despite the widespread belief that his leprosy would soon render him unable to rule. A determined military leader. Though Baldwin's illness was progressively debilitating, it never hindered his resolve to defend his kingdom. Shortly after assuming power, Baldwin began planning military campaigns to defend Jerusalem from external threats. One of his most significant early military actions was in 1177, when Sultan Saladin of Egypt launched an invasion aimed at capturing Jerusalem. Baldwin, despite being only 16 years old and severely weakened by his illness, led his army to meet Saladin's forces. The Frankish army, heavily outnumbered by Saladin's troops, faced daunting odds. Yet Baldwin's leadership and the support of the Knights Templar allowed them to break through the Muslim blockades and inflict serious losses on Saladin's forces. Saladin, who had expected an easy victory, was forced to retreat to Egypt, narrowly escaping with only a fraction of his army. This victory, while costly for Baldwin and his forces, demonstrated the young king's ability to command and inspired his people. The struggles of a deteriorating king. As Baldwin grew older, the leprosy took its toll on his body. By the time he was in his late teens, the disease had advanced to the point where Baldwin had lost the use of most of his limbs, leaving him able to wield only one hand in battle. His once noble features became disfigured, and he eventually became blind. Despite his increasing disability, Baldwin continued to lead his kingdom, carried into battle on a litter suspended between two knights' horses. By 1183, Baldwin's health had deteriorated to such a degree that he believed his death was imminent. With no children of his own due to his illness, Baldwin appointed his 5-year-old nephew, Baldwin V, as his successor and named his brother-in-law, Guy of Lusignan, as regent to govern in his stead, a lasting legacy. Baldwin IV died on March 16, 1185, at the age of 23, after a lifetime of struggle and suffering. He was buried alongside his father in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Despite his short reign and the debilitating illness that plagued him for much of his life, Baldwin IV is remembered as one of Jerusalem's greatest kings. His reign lasted nearly 11 years, during which he managed to hold off the vastly superior forces of Saladin on 5 separate occasions. Baldwin's military acumen, leadership, and indomitable spirit allowed him to preserve the independence of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during a time of immense danger. Even though leprosy ravaged his body, it never broke his will. Baldwin IV's story is one of perseverance and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. His ability to rule effectively, even while enduring the horrors of a debilitating disease, has cemented his legacy as one of history's most remarkable and accomplished monarchs. Despite the tragic circumstances of his life, Baldwin IV's determination to protect his people and his kingdom has earned him a lasting place in the annals of history.